what's up, guys? It's your boy Aaron, coming to you live from Studio 146, and I'm here with my boy Ty, and we are, as promised in my previous review, non-spoiler Avengers Endgame review. This is now the spoiler review of Avengers Endgame. So I'm very excited because now we finally get to go into detail with this, Ty.
How we felt about this, and how we felt. So yeah.
So it's gonna be a bumpy ride, folks. So stick around, and I'm sure you guys are gonna love it. All right, guys. So like I said, today's video is the Avengers Endgame spoiler review. We are going into detail, the likes, the dislikes, the love, the hate of this film. Ty, kick us off, man. You want to start off with the good? You want to, or what? Or just start off with the bad?
I'll start off with the story overall. Avengers Endgame was, for fanboys, it was a good movie. For fanboys and girls, it was a really good movie. I think that some people probably got satisfied in areas where I know that me as a critic didn't, or somebody who thought that the movie didn't conclude fully for me. I felt like they could have concluded it better for everybody. It felt like they only touched on a few things to conclude the movie, and I felt there was more to give other characters. Let's just say, like I said, this movie starts off and it's very slow, and there's this reminiscent on people being taken away, the dusted ones, and that was fine, but I think they stayed there for just too long.
Yeah, probably just a little bit too long.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
introducing Ant-Man to it and all the other people, you know. So I understood that. Don't get me wrong, but I felt like they could have summed that up in 30 minutes or less. You know what I'm saying? No, really, it was like an hour long when it could have been summed up in 30 minutes.
I definitely agree with you, and I mentioned this on my non-spoiler review that I get what the Russo brothers, what they were trying to, share, like the feel of desperation, of sadness, of what just had happened. And I get that, but like you said, I agree with you. I think they might have just prolonged it just a little bit too much, and maybe they could have cut off a little bit sooner and jump right into Ant-Man coming out and sharing this news of the time travel thing and all that stuff. I'm free to say because it's a spoiler review.
And they're going to bringing up the time travel. I don't know if it was done right. What they did in the past didn't really affect the future, and from what we're used to in time travel, it just was backwards. Like we're used to people going back to change the future, and they did a lot. Tony almost died in the past. Captain America fought with himself.
In the past,
Loki escaped in the past, and Captain America fought himself in the past. So it was like all these things. It was like they were reinventing time travel for us, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that because I would have wanted to see. The movie could have had could have used that. Of course, it would have been a lot longer of a movie, but use that to see how they were messing up the future and had to keep going back and fix it. That could have been the movie right there. A lot of it, and then the end. You know what I'm saying?
But and then like in with that, because I thought they were gonna go with that. The basic knowledge of what we know, what we think of. What is time travel? Like if you do something here, you'll mess it up, when you go back to your time, whatever, and all this kind of stuff. So I was even thinking, hey, maybe before watching the movie, I was thinking, hey, maybe they're gonna mess up something in the past, and that's how they're gonna bring the X-Men and Fantastic Four into it.
Exactly.
They travel, they go back to the future, and it's like, oh, because you did something in the past, you created this alternate future where now we have mutants and the Fantastic Four with us.
Exactly. That would have been great.
I get, maybe they try to do something different, something new. So
that's the storyteller in him right there. Right? Yeah, that's the storyteller in you coming out.
All right, Ty, I gotta talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay. Yes.
I think I know what you're talking. I think you know where I'm going with this.
I already do, bro.
You even got the green light on you, bro. Your boy Hulk. Your favorite character, Hulk, and I'm with you on the same boat. I told you right after the movie. We both feel like they didn't do him justice.
I think that was. You got to remember, Avengers started off with the Hulk being an important influence in the first Avengers. So him ending it would have been even better. He doesn't have his own movie. He doesn't have a TV show. He don't have what everybody else have, and I felt like they set it up perfectly. He's got control over the Hulk. All of these things were perfect, and then we're robbed of what the manifestation of all of this.
Yeah.
Black Widow, of course, like this is spoiler review, sacrifices herself for the Soul Stone, and yet this makes him even more mad. This makes him even could make him the best fighter.
It looked like he was, in that moment, when everybody was like frustrated and everything, he gets all frustrated, he throws that bench like 200-300 miles into the sky or whatever. I thought, oh wow, when Thanos shows up, we're gonna see Hulk like get his revenge. He's gonna be pissed. He's like, you killed the love of my life, type of thing. It's because of you that she had to sacrifice herself, and he was gonna go like pow, he was gonna get into it.
And he didn't bust a grape. He didn't bust a grape in Napa Valley with cleats on, brother. He stood there and just allowed nothing to happen, man. He was injured. All of that just was all bad to me, man. And I said, our cameraman Josh, by the way, had us really pumped up because he was saying something about how Hawk, you have never seen Hawk like this, and you're right. I have never seen Hawk as a loser in a whip, man. That just really tore the movie up because I was like, we waited for that. I waited for that the whole time. I said, okay, he's not gonna do nothing in the past. He's gonna do something in the future. He's not gonna do nothing right here. He's gonna do something at the end. He's not gonna do this right here. He's gonna do this in the end, and it never happened. And when the movie ended, it felt like the movie had ended at that point when I realized he wasn't gonna come up and fight. For me, it ended for me. Like it was like, okay, I don't even know why I'm in here anymore.
Going back to what you said on Widow being, she sacrificed herself. We get a little scene where Widow and Hawkeye, or Ronin, I guess, in this movie, they're fighting like against each other because they both they feel like they should be the ones to sacrifice themselves. At the end, Widow ends up sacrificing herself. I'm gonna be honest with the viewers right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, Ty. I didn't really feel as much sadness or as much pain as I felt with Gamora. That scene with Thanos and Gamora to me just has such a more, how could I say, climax. Such a bigger climax than with Hawkeye and Black Widow. Because, like we say, hey, I was like, okay, I appreciate your sacrifice. I salute you. But with Gamora, I was like, no, she didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve this. And it was so sad because the look in her face, like you said, she was like, she was laughing at him. She was like, the universe just told you no, like you don't love nobody, all this shit. And then all of a sudden you see the thug teardrop from Thanos, and it was like, and Red Skull's like, it's not for him. And her look on her face just like, what? Like it just totally
you
changed.
Really love him. Not only that, I realize you love me, but now you're finna sacrifice me because you love me.
And it's crazy because like I hate you, but you love what?
Right.
Like, you love me.
Right. That's crazy.
That was
crazy.
That was crazy.
But going back to Ronin, because you mentioned him, and that was something else I thought was handled pretty poorly. Don't get me wrong, the fight scene was
great. How they started the movie off with him. Yeah. That scene was pretty intense.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like it gave everybody something that they wanted. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To show where he's going to be or where he's at and, everything. And I just felt like it wasn't like that for everybody. But when he did show up as Ronin, the shot that they took, the following shot, I just felt like they could have showed him more battered than he was.
Like inside.
Yeah, because they showed it, like shielded him and showed more of the building and what was possibly, you had to think of what was happening. Yeah. And I wanted to see him like really be like the Matrix on some straight up Neo, just tearing a whole room full of people up, running around, flipping up walls with a sword. And I felt like that would have been the one time that I felt they would have filmed something that would have felt challenging. This movie didn't feel challenging in the directorial way at all. Now I'm sure with the CGI and the visuals and all of that, but they didn't do nothing that challenging with the camera that I felt that they could do.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I wanted to see him, beating these fools up, chopping them off. Obviously, there's not going to be blood because it's a PG-13, Marvel, whatever. But one thing also that I said about Ronin is that I felt like I wanted to see more of him. We saw Ronin up until that point, and then at least I felt like after that, we saw Hawkeye again, and we didn't see Ronin anymore. Right. Like, I wanted to see that dark side of him a little bit more.
They didn't really go into that, I mean, we knew why it existed, but they really didn't go in detail of how he really was feeling.
Exactly, so.
Oh, they killed, his excuse was, they died and you lived, so I was like, it could have been deeper than that. Maybe this was something hidden in you the whole time, and you've been fighting against it, this darkness, you know? Thanos was exactly what we predicted in the video, that he was gonna be watered down. The menacing, the sinister, the craziness in him was just gonna be like, kind of like at a flat, they were gonna flatten it so that the Avengers could have more of a shine. And that's what bothered me, was because Thanos, it would have been even more important because he was younger. This was 2014 Thanos, not 2018 or 17 Thanos. So he should have been more sinister and more just punishing.
That was one of the main reasons of why I felt like Endgame let me down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a total disappointment, but it was a bit of a disappointment, and that was one of the main reasons. Thanos just wasn't the big, menacing, heartless, you know, he just doing what he has to do, you know, whatever it takes. He was like that in Infinity War. I know in this one, the Avengers, that was like their thing, whatever it takes. But he was like that in Infinity War, you know. He killed his own daughter to get the stone. So I did not see that, and that disappointed me a little bit. You know, and I've been hearing some people say, well, it's because, you know, that Thanos wasn't as prepared as the one in Infinity War, and that's why he wasn't that vicious. I'm like, no, because if you really pay attention in the scene where he's seen Nebula's memories from where they go and chop off his head at the very beginning and all that, when they start showing like the memories of Tony Stark and Cap and all them talking about how they're gonna time travel and do all this stuff, Gamora's like, are those Eartheners? And then he says, no, Avengers. So he already knew who was down there. He already knew. He knew that the Avengers were gonna be, you know, they're gonna put up a fight to him. So no, that whole he's not prepared type of thing, that doesn't count. Like, that should not have mattered. He should have been prepared because he knew who the Avengers were already. And I felt like that he should have had some sort of contingency plan. Like the Thanos, because like again, the Thanos that we saw in Infinity War, he had like everything in his hand. You know, he knew everything. He had it down to the last detail. He already knew what was up. He knew I'm the baddest guy here. They're not gonna stop me, type of thing. So I feel like the final battle, not going into the final battle, even though, you know, somehow like Tony took away the stones and all that stuff, I feel like he should have had some sort of contingency plan. Like, something. Like, I don't know, something where like, oh, you know, I drank this elixir that I can't get this off. But there were some good things.
Comedy relief.
The comedy relief. And there's still, you know, like I mentioned this in my previous review, and I've always said this, my problem with Marvel is that sometimes they do too much comedy and there's not enough danger. And I feel like they were still able to balance this one out well. Thor was surprising. The
biggest comic relief, no pun intended.
I did not expect that. Like when the camera was like zooming in on his face, and then like it zooms out a little bit, it goes down. And all of a sudden, I'm like,
this dude got his stomach.
I'm like, what? He's fat. He got that big old.
That was too funny, man. That was really good. I like how they really did that and used it through most of the film. You know what I'm saying? It was hilarious. There was a lot of funny parts. The Captain America and the American butt that they had in there and all of that. So they had some good comic reliefs.
I gotta admit, that scene was dope.
When he grabbed
when Captain America.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That was dope. I said,
I was like, oh snap!
Everybody there was tripping.
I don't know how loud I was, but like I was sitting next to Ty. I was like, oh snap!
Yeah, I heard you.
I was like, damn.
Everybody was tripping on that part. Because I was like, what? Like, how did he get the hammer? And then you were like, yeah, bro,
he worthy, so you know he's able to wield it. And I was like, but that part was sick. That part was really sick. And you know, another part that I felt that was like I liked, that was still really dope, was like the big final battle where like everybody shows up and then like Captain America's like, Avengers assemble. You know, he finally said it.
Yeah, he said it, but I disagree. I thought that the finale fight should have been between the Hulk, Tony, Captain America, Thanos, and maybe like Thanos alone. He didn't need nobody else to fight with him, Thanos. You know, and it could have just been
like
them.
The original members.
And get the Soul Stone from him somehow and bring everybody back. And it'd be like an ending where people are coming back in like some kind of like resurrection thing. And I thought that would have been better. Everything could have played out the same except all those people there. They didn't need them. They didn't need that whole battle that we saw at the end again. We didn't need to see it again. We didn't need it. We just needed to see a face-off between, not even Tony and all of them. And Tony could have still died. Tony could have still died. You know, with him fighting the Hulk. Somehow the Hulk, he got the best of the Hulk at the end of the fight for a second, and then next thing you know, he kills Tony, or slips him a knife. You know what I'm saying? The Hulk come back and beat him up, and that's it. And then everybody come back and rewind everything. But it just, like I said, it could have been better. It could have concluded a lot better.
Well, that's got to be one thing we don't agree on. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we can't all be the perfect.
Could he not say Avengers Assemble with like 5 people there? Do they all have to be there?
It just doesn't have the same feeling. But anyways, I thought that part was really dope. I was like, they've been playing with this since like the first Avengers movie.
Right.
He's never said it, and he finally said it. So, I think that's really about it. I mean,
Tony dies. We all knew that was
Tony
going to
died.
happen.
I mean, if I'm being honest, really quick, it didn't really
Affect
hit me
us,
that
yeah.
hard because honestly, I saw that coming from a mile away. We predicted it in our past video. I've been predicting his death since Infinity War.
Yeah.
I've been expecting it since Infinity War. So to me, it really didn't hit me that hard.
You have, you were like the first time.
And I think again, it's because Thanos wasn't as menacing as he was in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for us today, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know some of you guys are probably pissed at us right now.
Right.
You guys are probably like, y'all some haters and all that. Okay, whatever. Let's agree to disagree. You can have your opinion, I can have mine. Comment below your thoughts.
Yeah.
What do you guys agree with us on some things? What do you guys not agree with us?
Agree with me.
We want to know what you guys think too, all right? So that's it for me. Again, my name is Aaron. This is Ty. Check us out on Instagram at studio_146. Keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. Share with everybody that you know. Let them know that Studio 146 is on all things pop culture. So peace out. See you guys next video.